Aloha, friends. Please join us on the floor as we explore the 8-count basic. Now by now, you know that we love the idea of granular elements. We feel like having these small little pieces that you can string together into whatever combination that you like gives us the freedom to enjoy the improvisational and musical nature of this dance. That being said, when you go out and dance socially, oftentimes we will encounter a very regular pattern that gets taught in classes as a way of stringing together several of these elements all within the same pattern. So a lot of times teachers will use this as the basic for Argentine Tango, and it is very useful for us to be familiar with the 8-count basic, because not only will we be led into this movement if we're dancing with anybody that's familiar with it, but a lot of times we'll be expected to lead it because that is what our partner is used to receiving. However, it's just one of those things when you go out dancing, it's just good for you to be familiar with it. So let's show you the entirety of the 8-count basic first, and then we'll break it down for you.
So our line of dance is this way around the room.
So if you were paying attention, we might have noticed that all of those elements we've actually encountered before. Weight changes with a step, walking outside partner, as well as our cruzada, and of course you have seen that resolución in many of our move video choreography movements. So none of these things should be entirely new, but the putting together of them we can do together. Starting off, we're going to work on the follower's footwork first. We are going to start off to get us on the same foot, if you will, with a nice weight change over to the arm side of the embrace. We have a salida that allows the leader to go into outside partner. A few walking steps, walk. We begin to resolve the dissociation with the cruzada, and then we head back, side, and together. Now, if you notice, I am not changing weight just yet because I don't know what's going to happen next. So I don't want to presume that you wanted me to change weight. So once again, this is called our 8-count or our 8-step pattern because we have 8 steps and they are right on the heavy beat. So we are using our single time for this. We're starting off with a weight change for 1, the salida for 2, partners outside partner. We move 3, 4 starts the beginning of the cruzada. Close the cruzada for 5, then we have our resolución for 6, 7, collect for 8.
Now the leader's part. We begin with that weight change, the salida to bring us into outside position, forward, allowing time for the cruzada to happen, the wind-up intention for the weight change, forward, side, together. And by the way, the academic figure includes a back step, but that's mostly eliminated because we can't see behind us and we don't want to risk stepping into somebody. So that's why, as Tina said, we substitute that clear weight change to the arm side of the embrace. Then we begin with a salida, Espanol for exit, where I guess we're exiting from the tables onto the dance floor. So the salida, we're in outside position, stepping in line, forward, taking out the dissociation, stepping into place after the partner has crossed, and then with the wind-up and intention, we're ready to step forward, side, together. And I don't know if you noticed, but any of those steps can be turned, rotated, to add a little more creativity to the figure.
Not only creativity, but also to utilize the space that you have. Right? A lot of times people will jump in front of us and we need to, whoa, turn that corner a little faster than we were expecting. You always have the freedom to do that. Now, something to be aware of, a lot of times when we learn a pattern like that in its entirety, we want to dance it in its entirety, exactly the way we learned it, from this step to this step to this step to this step. Keep in mind that even though we have this 8-count pattern does not mean at any point in time we can't do something else within the middle of the pattern, and we can't change it up at whim or at will. So one of the pitfalls that newer dancers tend to fall into is, especially for the cruzada, as soon as that leader moves outside partner in the 8-count basic, they want to immediately go, oh, I know this one. See that? That was good, right?
Oh, yeah.
Regardless of whether or not that's what Arjun wanted to lead right there, I decided for him, I'm going to do the cruzada. So just because we are now aware that this pattern exists does not mean that we ignore the lead to let us know what their idea is. Ignore the communication surrounding it.
Leaders so appreciate the patience and the physical ability to hold ourselves on one foot, ready to see what's coming next, because it gives us options, creative options. Mm-hmm. So if I am in outside position and I stay in outside position, there's no reason to cross. It's only when I take the dissociation out that my partner will feel that drive to cut the corner and come back across.
So while we like to put our movements into our muscle memory and get them very comfortable, beware of always falling back into that habit or that pattern that you've established. Again, ignoring the conversation between the two people.
Right. And then when we're ready, we can click that next button and head to the next exploration. Until then,
Abrazos.